2 weeks, 2 race weekends, and Formula One has already delivered a roller coaster start to the 2025 season, from tight corners of Suzuka to the desert heat of Bahrain. We've had drama, dominance, and a few surprises. Hi, I'm Saul, and today we will be breaking it down of what has been happening in the past 2 weeks of Formula One. Alright, let's talk Japan. Suzuka, a fan favorite for a reason. The tracks test everything: high-speed corners, elevation changes, and that no-nonsense figure 8 layout. And this year, it was classic Verstappen. Max came into Japan under a bit of pressure after a rocky preseason and an up-and-down showing in the opener. The whispers had started, but on Saturday, he shut them all down. Pole position, blistering pace, and come race day, he was untouchable. From lights out, Max controlled the tempo, perfect gateway, nailed his tire strategy, and managed the gaps like a pro. His 4th straight win at Suzuka, and arguably one of the most convincing yet. But let's talk about the real surprise. McLaren, Lando Norris, and Oscar Piastri looked fast all weekend, and they delivered. A clean strategic race from both drivers. The most intense came during the pit stops. Both Verstappen and Lando Norris pitted simultaneously, and as they exited the pit lane, they found themselves side by side. The two went wheel to wheel, with Norris momentarily running off track. He claimed Verstappen had pushed them off wide, but after reviewing the incident, the stewards took no further action. Despite the close call, Norris maintained his composure, finishing second, while his McLaren teammate Oscar Piastri secured third. McLaren's double podium finish highlighted their strong performance and growing challenge to Red Bull's dominance. Meanwhile, Ferrari had a weekend to forget. Leclerc qualified well, but ran into the tire degradation issues mid-race and fell down the order. Hamilton, still adapting to the life in red, managed to salvage some points, but nothing flashy. And then Andrea Kimi Antonelli, Mercedes rookie, just 18 years old, and he clocks the fastest lap of the race. That's the youngest driver in F1 history to do it. He's not just here to learn, he's here to race. Fast forward to a week, we're under the lights in Bahrain. Different vibe, different pace, and a completely different winner. This time it was Oscar Piastri who stole the show. McLaren came in Bahrain with momentum, and they capitalized. Piastri put in a phenomenal qualifying lap to grab pole, and on race day, he didn't flinch. From opening stint, he had the balance and the rhythm. Clean pit stops, great tire management, and that quiet confidence that's becoming his trademark. George Russell in Mercedes looked strong too. He jumped a position early on and kept Piastri honest the whole way. A few laps after the second pit stop, he closed the gap, but Oscar never let him within DRS range. Long enough to mount a serious challenge, Russell settled for second, but it was a strong weekend for him. And Lando, another podium. That's 2 in 2 races. McLaren might be the most consistent team on the grid right now. Their pace is real, their race management is smart, and their drivers are delivering. Now let's talk Red Bull. Verstappen's weekend, not ideal. He struggled with grip from FP1, and by qualifying, the car just didn't feel hooked up. During the race, a slow pit stop and some uncharacteristic tire drop-off meant he never found the rhythm. He finished 6th, a rare off day for the defending champ. Ferrari again showed flashes of potential, but they are still not stringing together. Leclerc had a good 1-lap pace, but got caught in traffic after an early pit stop. Hamilton fought through the midfield, but couldn't crack the top 5. So where do we stand? McLaren leads the Constructors' Championship after 2 podium-packed weekends. Piastri and Norris are both in the title conversation. Red Bull, still dangerous, but the gap's closing. And Ferrari, there's promise, but they need a clean weekend badly. And now for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. In a thrilling race under the lights of Jeddah, Oscar Piastri secured a stunning victory, overtaking Max Verstappen to take the lead in the Formula One World Championship. This win marks Piastri's 3rd of the season, and he's now the first Australian to lead the championship since Mark Webber in 2010. Verstappen, who started from pole, was in control until a 5-second penalty for track limits that cost him the lead, leaving Piastri to capitalize. Charles Leclerc rounded out the podium, bringing Ferrari's first podium of the season. Lando Norris finished 4th with the fastest lap of the race, while George Russell took 5th, Carlos Sainz finished 8th, and Fernando Alonso just missed the points in 11th. The race saw early retirements from Yuki Tsunoda and Pierre Gasly after a collision, as well as a safety car period that altered the strategies for several teams. But in the end, it was Piastri who emerged victorious and making a strong statement for McLaren this season. With the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix behind us, the excitement now shifts to the next race, the Miami Grand Prix. Stay tuned as the battle for the championship heats up, and we'll see if Piastri can maintain his momentum on the streets of Miami. All right, that has been the recap of the 2025 F1 season so far. Feel free to share how you feel about this season so far and what do you think will happen in Miami. And that is all for today. And if I don't see you next time, good evening, good afternoon, and good night. Go Cougs.